So, so we are coming to the third subject, that is technical writing. Again, before going into the syllabus, the first class, I want to discuss the basics. Without knowing the basics, it will be difficult to understand the parameters involved in it. So, I want to give an introduction. So, what technical writing is actually? You might have heard this concept, you might have heard this terminology, but I want to show you what is technical writing actually. So, let's discuss the basics of technical writing. So technical writing is nothing but a type of writing where author is writing about a particular subject that requires direction, instruction, or explanation. See, it is not about common writing. In academic research writing, we have a problem. We will formulate a research problem, and in a step-by-step procedure, we will analyze the problem, and we will provide solution to the problem in the form of writing, and again we will conclude the problem. So technical writing is not like that. It is written about a particular subject that requires direction, instruction, or explanation. What do you mean by direction, instruction? In simple, whenever you purchase a TV, whenever you purchase, what do you say, purchase a manual or something, you purchase, actually, whenever you purchase an electronic item, let it be anything, TV, fridge, or something, they will give you manuals, right? They will give you manual how to operate. So that kind of user manuals are called technical writing. Is an example of technical writing. It provides specific instruction. Or when you download a software, when you, for example, if you are downloading Google Meet, how to use Google Meet, they are giving instruction. That is technical writing. So it is about a particular subject with specific explanation and instruction. So that is technical writing. It is not academic writing. So academic writing and technical writing are entirely different. In software companies, most of the companies have technical writers. Once they develop a software for a particular project, and they ask the English experts or writers to prepare a step-by-step procedure for how to download the software, how to install the software, what is the next to click, everything. So this instruction, which is specific to the particular subject or a particular project, is called as, this kind of writing is known as technical writing. It conveys, this is a formal definition. It conveys specific information about technical subject to a specific audience for a specific purpose. As I said earlier, it is for a specific audience for a specific purpose. If I am the client, I am asking a company to develop a software for me. They will develop the software for me and also give manual for how to use the software. I am purchasing TV from a company. They will give me the TV and also instruction on how to use the TV. That instruction in writing is called as technical writing. So that is the that is the concept of writing. What is the goals of technical writing? Whatever aspect you are having, there should be goals, aim, and objective, right? So to deliver technical informations for readers in a manner that is adapted to the needs and level of understanding and background. See, I am not an experience. For example, I am not an expert in what do you say, computer, but I am purchasing a computer, I am purchasing a laptop, I have no idea about laptop. So they are providing manual in such a way that everyone can able to understand in simple terms. Go, open the box, open the laptop, just switch on, click this button. So anyone can understand based on this illustration and based on this writing. So technical writing should be in such a way that it is adapted to everyone needs and level of understanding and background. It's not only for technical persons. Whoever reads this will be able to understand. They should be able to operate without the help of another person. That manual and all that writing alone should be able to act as a. Whenever you remember next time when you purchase any electronic items, if you see a manual, that is technical writing. It is to communicate with a specific audience for a specific purpose. There are specific purposes. I want to switch on my computer. How to do that? So I want to enroll in Google Meet. How to access Google Meet? How to create link, like that. So for that, if I'm giving instruction and tutorial, that is technical writing. And what are the characteristics of writing? So everything has a characteristics. It should be clarity. There should be clarity, easily understood by intended audience. If your audience is not, if your customer is purchasing a computer, so let's take in a case of library, a user is coming without knowing anything about the library. He doesn't know what library is and how. And for him, you have to provide a document or a manual in such a way that, sir, you come here, you can go this, you access this. how to use OPAC. You are giving a manual on how to use OPAC. Open the computer, click this browser, uh, click OPAC link, type the book or type the author. In everything you are providing in such a way that is technical writing. It should be with proper clarity, conciseness. Conciseness would be specific, clear without excess verbiage. You don't use many words and verbs. Stick to the point. A single line. Click on this link. That is enough. And go. Don't write long sentences. It should be concise because the audience doesn't know. He is not aware about the background details. So you should be clear and concise. Specific audience. So so library user might be intelligent as well as novice user. Novice means he is new. Some might be having experience in using the library OPAC. Many of them are new. When the first year comes, they don't know. So for them also, you have to be able to write in such a way that it addresses a specific audience, specific purpose, accuracy, provide accurate details, correctness, comprehensiveness, accessibility, including table of contents, headings, subheadings. So when you provide a comprehensive and a full document, the user will be able to understand. So that is the art of technical writing and the characteristics. So I have given an example of what is the difference between technical and creative writing. See, technical writing, as I told earlier, it will be factual, instructive, informative. It will not contain any, what do you say, any other stories and all. It will be objective and it will be specialized vocabulary, means you used only certain words. You will not go lengthy. Whereas in the case of creative writing, it should be imaginative, like authors or sports journalists. They should be creative. They want, because the readers want their newspapers to be read, right? So unless it is creative, unless it is imaginative, people won't read because this article is good. You have written it so well. So, like describing a product, a customer review, everything. This is creative. But technical is not like that. Stick to the point. It's like a tutorial. Go, click Google Chrome, type the URL. It should be strict to the point. Creative is not like that. Creative will add pictures, like sports. They will add some, what do you say, rhymes and phrases, creative writing. So, journalists mostly involved with creative writings. So now there is academic writing. We saw about research, right? So there is a difference between technical and academic. Academic is about research. You see, the communication triangle. Communication in academic writing is in triangular form. Technical writing is rectangular form. So academic writing as a receiver, but may or may not have a reader. There is a difference. Receiver means when you publish an article or something, when you are writing your thesis, PG project, let me say, there is a receiver. Who is the receiver? The university is the receiver. Okay, but that project may or may not have a reader. Some people may read your project, many may not read your project, but there is a receiver but not a reader. Here, in technical writing, will always have a reader because I am the customer, I am the reader, I want to use this product. So unless I don't have manual, I am not able to use it. So there will be a reader. The primary reader is who order the report, who order the product. See the difference. This is the best example. Academic writing is PG project is academic writing. Your project is academic writing. There is a receiver. There is a difference between receiver and reader. Receiver is our university. You are submitting your project to university. So that is a receiver. But there is no guarantee that anyone will read it or not. Very few will read it or many may not read it. There is no guarantee for a reader. But receiver is there, reader is not there. So similarly, but technical writing is not like that. There will be a definite reader. One who will order the product, he is the reader. For him, you have to prepare a technical document. Okay, academic writing. So these are the, what you say, common differences between academic writing and technical writing. Okay, for what purposes you are doing technical writing? So these are the activities of technical writing and in-house activities. What do you mean by in-house activities? Means the communication, in our case, the communication within the university. For example, they are declaring a holiday tomorrow. They are declaring online classes start from tomorrow. That is for our teachers and our students. They are giving instruction. Exam is going to be conducted tomorrow or next week. The university is giving communication. That is in-house. In-house means within the university. How they'll do that? Letters. They'll give by letters, or circulars, memos, or emails. That's what we are receiving, right? We are receiving email from university. So these are some kind of technical writing to give specific instruction. The exam will start tomorrow. The student should follow this instruction. staff should follow this instruction. The answer sheet should be like this. Award list should be like this. They're giving instruction in such a way. The writing is so technical without creative and any other full sentences including only the important points they include. Similarly, reports like progress trip. When you are attending an internship, you will write a report, right? So, what are the activities you carried out done in that internship? What are the skills you learned in the internship? That report, that is technical writing. What you learned new and what they made you to what they asked you to do and what a role you did in that library. Everything that is a report, technical writing. So this is how you get started to technical writing. How will you write it? First, you do a task analysis for what purpose you are writing. For example, I am saying you prepare a manual for Koha, how to install Koha. So you will understand the task analysis. For installing Koha, what are the softwares I need? What are the computer requirements I need? Hardware requirements. So you prepare a task analysis, and then so this should be the prerequisite. Prerequisite means for eligibility criteria. For studying MLAS, you should have a degree. That is the eligibility criteria. That is a prerequisite. So for installing Koha, your GB or your RAM configuration should be similar to like this. You cannot install in a what to say, you don't install in a old computer with low configuration. And for example, Linux and Ubuntu is more suited to Koha than Windows. So these are the prerequisites. You have to determine a task analysis, what purpose you are writing, and define the audience and their level of technical understanding. This is very important. Some people might be aware of different computer. For example, I don't know anything about computer. You are preparing a Koha manual for me. How will you do it? Step by step in simple language without knowing anything about me. That is the art of writing actually. I have to write in such a way that everyone understands. With or without computer knowledge, they have to understand. He has purchased because he's having money. He's purchased a costly phone or something, but he don't know how to use it. So you have to write in such a way that everyone understands in simple terms. Determine the level of detail necessary for the document. You have to add what details is necessary. For some details, if it is confusing and which is not relevant, you can leave it out. If you feel this is not important and it will be confusing to the reader, you can leave it out. That is up to your expertise. Organize the data. Organization, as I told earlier in management class, organization is very important. You have to organize in such a way. First, you have to analyze what is the prerequisite. First, download. Without downloading, you cannot install, right? So downloading should come after installation. Okay. Downloading should come before installation. Sorry. If it comes after installation, the organization is wrong actually. So how will you install before downloading? That is not that is not possible, right? So you have to organize it in such a way. First you download it, and then you click the setup file, and then you install. That is the that is the way you organize the data. Next is your role as a writer. Ethical everywhere there is ethics. You should employ ethical principles. Do not mislead. Do not. The fourth point is very important. Do not emphasize misleading or incorrect information. Don't what do you say? If you are not aware about it, don't write it. Do not provide wrong information. Misleading means Koha can be installed in Windows very easily than Linux. That means he will try in Windows. He doesn't know. Because of your statement, he will try in Windows and he will get error only. So do not mislead. If you don't know, we do not mislead. Just correctly rate what it. Treat others fairly and respectfully. Because not everyone knows everything. So we have to write in such a way that everyone is understand. Everyone is able to understand what you have written. Okay. Give credit where due. Help you to avoid plagiarism. Here also plagiarism is very important. Whatever you are writing, you should avoid plagiarism. Technical writing is actually a good scope. It's having a good scope in software industries because they are developing projects and they need English writers, technical writers to prepare tutorial, which is a very difficult task. I can develop a software, but writing a tutorial for that software is not easy. So it helps because it makes I have the knowledge to develop a software, but to make the software understandable to everyone, that is not easy. That is a difficult task. So that is where technical writing experts comes into play actually. So this is a common style, common elements of good writing, phrases to avoid, short alphabetical list often misused words and phrases are example of correct usage. So these are the tenses. So while writing, you will get practice. I will give assignment on technical writing, so you will get practice. This will help you in research also. These are the common words you can instead of instead of the material about the business application will demonstrate, you can use the material about the business application demonstrate. You can remove that will part. So you can use active voices instead of passive voices. The active voice always is best. Minimize the use of gerunds. Gerunds is sentence which ends with ing is called gerund. So you can use advocate requesting. So requesting a sentence which ends with ing. Ing is a gerund. So you can, instead of using like that, advocate requesting stake assistant when available. So that looks little bit complicated. Though I can understand, but looks complicated. Instead, you can simply write request state assistant when available. Simple. It's easy to read. So the goal and aim of writing is when you read it, you should understand. You should be able to understand it. See, request state assistant when available is very easy to understand when you read the above sentence. Advocate requesting state assistant when available. That is also correct, but it will not be understood by everyone, right? So prefer it is better to write in very simple and clear language. So avoid using gerund is one of the elements. Gerund is sentence which ends with ing. Here requesting ing is a gerund. Simple sentences, as I told earlier, you should use very simple sentences. General neutrality. General neutrality means do not use he or she. Use general neutral pronouns. Don't use the names. Better to use common general. Abbreviations, acronyms, how you do it. While see an example of technical writing, I'll tell you what to use and how to use. I told you about acronym, right? Acronym is the ATM. In ATM is the acronym. Automated Teller Machine is the abbreviation. Okay. Expansion. What is the first letter of all the words is the acronym. When you're using for the first time, current awareness service. When you're using in your assignment for the first time, you have to write it fully. Current awareness service bracket CAS. And next time when you're using it, you can write only CAS. That is enough. List means bullet points. Because it is easy to read in bullet points than to read in a paragraph. When the content is presented in points, it is very easy to read. Redundancy means unnecessary information. No need to include all the information. Avoid unnecessary information. Only provide information which is essential to the reader. Use other significant feature program include expense reporting, detailed payroll capture, time management modules. So these are the general thing and final to edit. So after writing everything, you have to read it again to edit. If you do after writing everything, you reread it everything what you have written, and you can check it once again after completing, and you can use some tools like Grammarly or other thing to give a final review, and then you submit it. So this is about the technical writing.